Have you ever been betrayed by the person you trusted the most? My wife cheated on me with an addict. It broke my heart at first, but it was the best thing ever. I'm currently living my best life, and I'm dating her best friend. But first, please subscribe to our channel. We are so close to reach 200 subscribers, you can make it happen. Let's get started. My wife cheated on me, and now I am thriving while she is in a downward spiral. Today would have been my 32nd male and my ex's 31st female 10th wedding anniversary. We met in middle school, started dating in high school, and married soon after college. We have 3 children together. Anna, my ex, was a stay-at-home parent during the first several years of our marriage. She ultimately resumed her college education after becoming increasingly dissatisfied with it over time. With 1 semester remaining, she realized that the major she pursued no longer interested her, so she dropped out of college. Instead, she started working as a waitress at a nearby restaurant. Her best buddy, Monica, 38 female, also worked there. She enjoyed her profession and was doing well at it. She made pals for the first time in years. Her depression was improving and there appeared to be a good shift in her life. I worked full-time, and with well-paying serving jobs at night and on weekends, I took on extra responsibilities at home to allow her to work those shifts. I changed my work schedule to allow more flexibility in getting the kids to and from school or being home on random days off. I accompanied them to all of their weekly sports practices and after-school events. I handled most of the cleaning, shopping, and laundry. Anna had several difficult years with depression, including one known suicide attempt. So I was glad to take on additional family obligations because it allowed her to pursue something that eventually brought her satisfaction. After a few months of working at the restaurant, Anna became close friends with her female coworkers. Around the same time, she told me more about her job experiences with Dan. Dan was a 24-year-old male line cook at the restaurant. At first, they were typical work stories. Amusing things, how they handled rude clients, and the latest drama from a business with many young, drama-loving employees. But as time passed, she began to tell me how Dan was hitting on her and telling her she was attractive. We had conversations in which I expressed my concern that her relationship was crossing a line and requested that she end any non-professional connections he had with her. As the months passed, I stopped hearing about Dan and was assured he was no longer interested in her. As the months passed, our marriage deteriorated. We no longer set aside time to date each other. We stopped enjoying spending time with each other. I didn't know she was cheating on me, but I could tell our relationship wasn't what it used to be. Then, in March of this year, she did not return home one night after work. She had become accustomed to going out for drinks with coworkers after their shifts finished. I was glad for her for a while since it appeared she had made some genuine friends to hang out with. I fell asleep on the couch while waiting for her the night she did not return home from work. I contacted her phone 3 times in the early morning, wondering where she was and if she was all right. On the 3rd call, she answered quickly, telling me that she had drunk too much and was staying at Monica's place. She said she'd be home in the morning and then hung up. Monica had been acquainted with Anna for several years, and we had double dates with Monica and her ex-husband James before their divorce. Monica's daughter is the same age as me, they're best friends. The difficulty with Anna's tale was that Monica and I were at our children's dancing practice the night she did not return home. I knew Monica was at home with her daughter after the dance, not out drinking, so Anna's presence at her house didn't make sense. I vowed to discuss it with Anna tomorrow and attempted to get some sleep before the kids awoke in a few hours. As I drifted off, I remembered sharing our phone locations using a parental controls app on our daughter's phone. I frantically opened the app and discovered that her location was in an apartment complex several kilometers away. It was the identical apartment complex she had informed me was Dan's while we were driving by. For the next 3 hours, I sat on the couch thinking about what I would say to her and waiting for her to enter the house. At 5:30 a.m., I heard the garage door open. She stumbled through the door a few minutes later, clearly intoxicated and lacking sleep. I questioned her where she had gone and why she hadn't returned home that night. She stated that she was at Monica's after drinking too much and could not have driven herself home safely. When I told Anna that I had seen Monica at the dance and knew she was with her daughter the night before, she changed her story. She stated she was at a different co-worker's friend's house, Natalie. I responded, claiming Natalie lives in a single-family home, although her address showed her in an apartment complex. After what felt like a long delay, I inquired, "Are you having an affair with Dan?" She just nodded. "Yeah." We spent the next few weeks trying to figure out whether we could save our marriage or not. We went to couples therapy, and I went to solo therapy as well. I knew I no longer loved her, but I wanted to see if we could work things out so I wouldn't miss out on time with my children if we split up. Anna agreed to give us another shot and informed me that she had ended things with Dan. She ended things with him at a coffee shop, not sure how he would react and wanting to do it in public. That night, I consoled my wife as she broke up with her boyfriend. The ensuing weeks were like a roller coaster. Anna and I went on a few dates while we tried to mend our relationship. Still, each one was awkward, like a blind first date where you know very little about the person and struggle to converse. There were few highs and many lows. A week later, I learned that Anna was still chatting to Dan. I discussed it with Monica, who had already discovered the affair. We agreed Monica and her restaurant buddies would sit down with Anna and stage an intervention. I didn't inquire about what they discussed with Anna, assuming they would give her the best advice possible. After spending the afternoon with the family, I stopped before Monica's house and urged Anna to go inside. Anna instantly realized what was going on. She observed her other friends' automobiles in the driveway and realized they were waiting to talk to her. Anna initially refused to go inside but eventually relented. Anna returned home from the intervention unsure how to proceed. She wanted to consider if she wanted to be with Dan or me. We went to bed agreeing to continue therapy and work on our relationship. We also decided she would stop seeing Dan. A week later, I learned that Anna was still seeing Dan. As I probed for more information, it became evident that the mysterious texter was working with them. In that instant, I realized my marriage had ended. I'd had enough of the lies, cheating, and deception. The mysterious texter eventually revealed their identity. I learned a lot about the affair as I spoke with them, Monica and Anna's co-workers. It happened for over 6 months, and they discussed marriage and having children. I discovered that once Anna knew I was tracking her whereabouts, she would park her car and leave her phone in it at non-suspicious locations, her work, friends' homes, grocery stores, and so on, to make it appear she was doing something legitimate. All the while, she kept cheating on me with Dan. Late that evening, after learning from the mystery texter that Anna was still cheating, I awoke Anna from her slumber and informed her that we were divorcing. I wanted her out of the house as quickly as possible and stated we'd figure out the rest later. Monica and I had been texting a lot in the weeks leading up to her friend's intervention and our legal separation. All of our texts were about receiving advice from her on how to talk to Anna about things, or Monica giving me confirmation on days when Anna was working, so I didn't think she was lying and hiding her location by driving at work. The entire chat centered on me emailing my wife's best friend seeking advice on mending my marriage. After deciding to separate from Anna, I joined a few dating apps. Initially, it was to show Anna that I was serious about moving on, despite my head not being in any place to date someone new. One night, while the kids were with Anna, I spent the evening idly swiping right and left while messaging Monica after she checked in to see how I was. I decided to ask Monica for some drinks and discuss how badly Anna treated us throughout the affair. Anna had spent a lot of time lying to Monica and me about being with her when she wasn't. Monica was wounded by it. Monica and I had a terrific evening. We talked and laughed for 3 hours, sharing stories about one another, our ex-partners, and how they treated both of us. Her divorce was further along than mine, so we also discussed it. I'd known Monica for a few years at this point, previously as my wife's best friend, and I was enjoying getting to know a different side of her. Several weeks later, Anna finally moved out. She rented a new place, and we could finally start living separate lives. Since then, life has been a series of 2 stories. I've been in a relationship with Monica for 6 months. Finally, I met someone incredible who makes me happy and enjoys spending time with me. I've lost weight, exercised several times weekly, and finished my first triathlon. I've had a lot of good times with the kids, doing fun activities and trying new things. Anna, on the other hand, became pregnant right after moving out. She left her work before being fired for sexual harassment because she was Dan's supervisor. She purchased Dan a new automobile and then lost her new job. Dan was fired from the restaurant for being intoxicated at work, and news spread that he uses cocaine and distributes numerous substances. She's lost the majority of her pals once they discovered the infidelity and lies. I'm relieved to have moved on and no longer feel stuck with someone who is a bad person. I have no sympathy for her as she continues to make horrible decisions, but I am saddened that she is still a part of my children's lives. Overall, I am much happier than I used to be. Anna's selections are obviously unique. It's difficult to see someone make one stupid decision after another, especially when it affects my children. But I've set firm boundaries and am concentrating on what I can manage, which seems like the healthiest approach. While it's not how I expected to go on, I've found happiness and compatibility with someone who fully understands the craziness I've experienced. Sometimes, the best connections emerge from the most unexpected locations.
That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed my tale and found it relatable, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated, allowing me to continue sharing information like this. Tap the bell symbol to never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.